Okay, let's see. We are live now with myself and Fraser Kane from Universe Today.
Hey,
Uh,
Corey.
hey, Fraser, how you doing? Let's see how this
I'm doing
works.
really well.
Who's what? We got 6 people watching. All right, that's
Yeah,
cool.
okay. So I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna go live, but I'm gonna mute what the YouTube video so I can at least.
Oh, there we
But
go.
I'll be
Yeah.
looking over this way because you're over here and you're the focus, but then the moon is right there as well. Or maybe I'll put the moon in front and then I can see you. But then you won't be talking at the same time. So this is just gonna be madness.
Yeah. No, this is good. I like it though.
It,
This is cool.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out some way I can promote this more.
Just ask everyone to retweet it. Everyone retweet this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I need to again. Next time we'll run this on my YouTube stream and then promote you and then there we go. We'll go from there.
Well, my internet is
Um,
sucking right now anyway. It seems to be okay at the moment. Let's hope that it
yeah.
stays. But yeah, this
I'm a
is
pro. I've dealt with this for many years. You know, when I'm doing like astronomy cast with Pamela and there's like a delay and I just I could just garble in the internet, but I know that she's recording her side of the podcast and I'm recording my side, so we're gonna
yeah.
have good audio for the final version. And so it's we sort of move into this buffer zone where I'm like, okay, I think I got the question, so I'm just gonna answer properly, and then later on it's occasionally it actually absolutely borks, and then we have to go, okay, you know what, the internet just crapped out there, I got to figure out what'd you say.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
yeah.
right?
So what time is it there for you?
Right now it is just past midnight, so it's 12:30. Yeah. So I'm actually
Okay,
yeah.
so you are 9 hours ahead of me.
Am I? 9? Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Nine.
So I'm
It's
UTC.
three. It's 3:30 here.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what's happening. 3:30. No, 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 no. I'm 9 ahead of you, or am I even longer ahead of you? Like.
Well, if it's 12:30 for you and it's 3:30 for me, then you have to be nine
Yeah, yeah.
hours ahead of
Okay,
me.
that's right. Okay. Jeez, you can tell. I need to get a beer just now. Actually, that's gonna happen.
You need
Uh-oh.
to get a beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a beer just now. I'm starting to drink during these because it just makes more sense. You know.
That's the one thing that I haven't brought home is I haven't picked up any alcohol for a
Ooh.
couple of weeks now.
Well,
Yeah,
we
and I'm like,
discussed earlier. We need to start making this happen. You can make your own vodka, right?
yeah. Like part of it is like I know that my health is gonna go to crap in this quarantine. Like I'm working out every day. I'm going for walks. I'm trying to get a lot of sleep. Like I'm really focusing on my health of my body
Yeah.
while my mind is going to dark places.
Oh yeah.
So at
It's
least
it's rough right now. Yeah.
yeah, so I sort of feel like I don't want to also drink alcohol, which is like a depressant as well. So you're just kind of like, it's sort of a spiral. So it's the one thing that I've been a little more reticent. And for me, alcohol is a very social thing. Like my wife can't drink. She's allergic
Okay.
to all alcohol. Loves the taste of beer, but she drinks like half a glass and she's got a hangover and a headache the next day. Brutal. It makes her so sad as I bring home these really tasty different, kinds of beer, and she can have like one sip and then that's it. Anything more, and she'll have a headache in an hour.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so then I have to drink alone, right? I'm like, oh man, this is, you know. But then we're in Canada, so there are other
Isn't
substances
that
that are
isn't that
legal.
what people in Canada do though? Like drink alone, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to,
We're
you
all
don't want to
drinking
drink alone, but
alone right now. Okay, we're all drinking alone.
yeah, yeah,
That's why we have
yeah,
live streams so
exactly.
that we don't feel like we're drinking alone anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I did,
Although, for one of us is going to be day drinking, no matter what we do, there's no way around it. One of us is going to be day drinking.
there's no rules
If we,
anymore, so it doesn't matter.
there's no, that's right. Yeah. Like, as long as your wits about you to get rid of the losers, you should be okay. Yeah.
So, okay, get this. I just did Instagram story and I tagged you and Universe Today on it, so you can reshare those if you feel like it. Um,
How did on a story? Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'll give that a shot.
yeah, because then
Yeah,
you
I'll
can
give
like
that a
add
shot.
it to your story if you want to. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, get this. So um, the other night during the supermoon, I had about 1,000 people watching, which was cool. Um, it was no million like we had on that
Yeah.
eclipse night, of course, but it was cool. But get this, guess who's watching right now on YouTube? Remember,
Like as we speak right now, one
yeah,
of the 9 people watching us right now,
yes, one of the 9, yes,
there's me
is
and
Chris,
there's you
is Chris. Remember Chris from
from
way
England.
back?
From England.
No, from way back. Elliot from way back.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, remember he's watching right now. He's all excited.
Awesome.
He's
Oh,
he,
that's Elliot Astro Imaging. Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
That's
you can
funny.
see the comments because they're public
I can
comments.
see the comments. Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I keep thinking that
yeah. That's amazing.
this is like some
Yeah,
private thing.
man, we gotta get my like just another thing to get organized is I mean, thanks to uh, Dustin Gibson and the good folks at at OPT, we've got access to just incredible telescope technology at this point.
Oh
Like
no, that's
it's
awesome.
stunning what I can do with this remote observatory. So it's it's time. It's time.
Oh, that's awesome. Yo, the sea,
Yeah. Yeah.
conditions are actually pretty darn good right now.
Yeah, it looks really good.
This is cool. I hope it
Yeah.
looks good on YouTube because it's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, it looks good to me. It looks really, really clear, really crisp. It's not doing the wiggle. It's not doing the astro shake.
Well, it's got a bit of shake going, but wow, I can see a lot of detail here.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm gonna do something for while I get a beer. I'm gonna do let's see, a 5,000 frame video capture.
Oh, you're making a picture.
I'm gonna make a picture. And while I do that, you can watch that capture, and I'm gonna go get a beer, okay?
No
And then
problem.
you can tell people about Universe Today and some of the other stuff that's been going on in like the 2 minutes that I'll be gone.
So Elliot Astro Imaging, I'll never forget. It was just in the beginning of astronomy. I'm still doing the live streams every clear night. Would love to catch up with you guys sometime. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome, man. That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to get the band back together. This has been the, back on in the day, the big problem that we were having with doing the star parties was just being able to get everybody to be able to have the weather and be able to set their tech up. And I know that other people ran into the same problems when they tried to set up these sorts of telescope networks. And so we really solved it with what OPT has provided with these remote telescopes, because now suddenly you've got dependable, really good telescopes that are in dark sky conditions and have good weather almost every single night. And so there's no good reason why. But we've done a bunch of them. I've done a bunch of star parties since over on Twitch. I haven't really ramped things back up on YouTube, but I will. I promise. And then I really enjoy the social part of it. So being able to have people join from around the world, and then but at the same time, if nobody's got clear skies, nobody can join us, then we can use these remote telescopes. So we've got some technology that we can actually use.
Okay, I'm back.
So what moon phase are we at?
It's like 80% waxing. Is it waxing? Waning gibbous right now.
And right, so we're about, because you just did the supermoon, right? So
Yeah,
we're
we
a
did the
couple
super
of
moon a couple days ago. Yeah, so
yeah. So that was like 2 days ago,
I
3
think
days
so.
ago.
3 days.
The pink
Yeah,
moon.
yeah. It was super pink. Everybody keeps asking me that. Was it pink? Not everybody. We get at least there'll be a commenter on here just now. That'll say something like, was the moon pink? It's like, no, it wasn't pink. It's just a
Yeah.
name. Ugh, I hate it when we give these
Yeah.
things names. Anyway,
Yeah.
cheers. Okay, cheers. It's
What are you drinking?
it's a Vindhoek Draft. It's a delicious beer. It's from
Vind.
Windhoek.
What
Yeah,
is it?
it looks like Windhoek. Windhoek is what it is.
Windhoek.
Yeah, but you
Windhoek.
pronounce it Windhoek.
Windhoek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Namibian beer actually. So
Oh, good.
yeah. Mm.
Do you guys still go? Are you guys still trying to do? I mean, not now with the quarantine, you're locked down. But are you guys still trying to go out on new moons?
We try, but the thing is, we've been so busy with life and everything the last year, we haven't been able to do much, with that. So what we've been
Yeah.
doing is not that. I've just been shooting from home and doing little things from home. So I've been trying to get into this live stream stuff, and I've been doing a lot of planetary just because it's fun and stuff that I
Yeah,
can
well,
do
that's the
from
thing
home.
is like you've been able to. I mean, you've got such a great setup for planetary. I've been, and this is the part. So the setup that I'm using is all, and we should do this. Maybe we'll flip things around. Actually, it's probably pretty good for you because, if I'm doing it around, um, but it's totally deep sky. So it's a 11-inch Rasa with a full color ASI camera, and it's super fast. Like it's just stupid fast, and so you're getting
Oh, that's awesome.
shots of M33 in 30 seconds, 15
Yeah.
seconds. You're getting any star cluster you want. You do that in 10 seconds. If you want to get like a fainter nebula, then you go the full minute, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
so the exposure times are so fast, and that's to get something that looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's crazy though
Um,
that like you can do it that quick, but it's
yeah.
so
In fact,
rad.
it's like back in the day. I remember it took us. We would spend half an hour. Like I would have to spend a lot of time just filling the air, talking to people and switching. Okay, what do you got over in your screen, Gary? But now I could just using this telescope. It's as fast as you want to go. Like you want to go picture, 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 picture. We'll just go object, 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 object.
That's
And in
insane.
fact, it's like cognitively I'm like having to just highball just to go, let's look at this now, let's look at that now, about this thing over here now, things over here, right? And so it's kind of amazing. Like credit to Dustin Gibson and the folks at, again, I'm like I just keep saying OPT, they nailed it. I mean
No, but
they
that's
built
cool. That's what they do, that's like
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like
And once Dustin's got this mind. You put into this challenge, and then he's like, "Oh man, I've got so many more ideas on how to make this setup even faster. Right? Instead of an 11-inch Rasa, let's go with a 14-inch Rasa. Instead of let's switch out that mount for a software bisque for a right." And you're just like, "Yes, please.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, when
Yeah,
you
I like it.
he's got
Yeah,
these
I'll
he's
take a
got the
Paramount. Yes,
world at
please.
his fingertips, so it's like,
Yeah,
just go.
yeah.
We got-
But the problem is right now there's no good planetary setup at all.
Oh,
And
okay.
so people are like, "Oh, can we see Saturn?" I'm like, "Oh, you want to see Saturn?"
Yeah. It's gonna get yeah, it's why is it so
Yeah,
wiggly?
wah, wah.
Anyway,
Yeah, you want to see the moon? Oh,
yeah.
that sucks. But so have you found? I mean, have you found your productivity has gone up or gone down in this quarantine? Are you getting more done or less done?
I'm probably a little bit less just because my brain is like on fire most of the time.
That's exactly like on the one hand, you're at home
Yeah.
and you're not having to commute, and you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to do anything. But on the other hand, a certain part of your mind is just kind of going, yeah, but all these people are dying.
Yeah,
And
it's just like it's not a normal
no,
feeling. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
no, I know. And I find that I really have to give my mind the space to grieve is what we're doing. We are grieving
yeah.
for what's happening to the people around the world and for what's to come. It's like it's not just grief, it's anticipatory grief.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's future grief for the horrors that are about to come, especially, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, just how you've got the virus is starting to make its way into areas of the world that are just not equipped
Yeah.
medically with the testing and with any kind of apparatus. I mean, for us, we can stay home, and every now and then one person in the household makes a run for it to go bring some, makes an online order at the grocery store and then comes back and you don't touch anything for a day, and then your chances of catching coronavirus are minimal. But
Yeah.
you've got these people who, the think about people who are in refugee camps, and think about people who are
Oh, dude, yeah.
in slums,
Well,
and then
here in SA, here in South Africa, it's like, it's rough. We've got a lot of informal townships and places where,
yeah,
there's a whole family living in a really small, a really small apartment or like literally a metal shack, and it's just it's scary to think about. There's actually there's a there was a tweet that was going around about 2 weeks ago, and it was like, while we're all mad that we're not able to stream what we want on Netflix, there's all these other people who are trying to figure out where they're going to eat now, because all of a sudden they don't have their day labor jobs, and then
yeah.
and so there was a company here that's actually doing something really cool. It's called I think it's called like the SA Harvest. And what they do is they go to grocery stores and they take the stuff that's almost expired that the grocery store won't sell, but
Yeah.
they'll pick it all up and they'll package it up into meals, and then they deliver that to meals. Like they use all the leftover stuff that's
That's cool.
going to be, so it's not wasted, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been donating to them and like just random stuff.
Oh, good. That's
So
awesome.
anyway, somebody asked on
Yeah,
here,
and I feel
they're
like
they're asking us to do. We posted links on Twitter. I posted links on Twitter. Looks like Fraser had retweeted that. So check both of our Twitters. You can retweet that. We've
Yep,
also
and
done
also
Instagram
Instagram.
as well. I fixed the link in my Instagram. I forgot that I needed to change the link, so that's fixed now as well. So let's see, what do we got? We
Yep.
got some questions to read. Somebody asked how you been. That's what we're talking about now. Chris is just too excited about the whole astrophotography and drinking thing. Way excited. And we just saw a bird transit on the moon. So when you
Oh, okay. I'll watch. Hold
Yeah.
on.
there
There it is.
you'll see it pop there.
That's awesome.
There it is.
That's
There's
great.
the transit of the bird.
Yep, I just saw another one.
Yeah.
I bet you it's a bat. It's not a bird. It's a bat.
I don't know. It was too smooth to be a bat, I think. Yeah, I don't know. You see a lot of those these days. Let's see, what else? What kind of beer? I think I already said that, but I'll say it again just because, I mean, it's just this wonderful thing. This is a Windhoek Draft. It's an amazing Namibian beer. So it's my go-to. Let's see. Twitter's having glitches. I can't see it there yet. Oh, did I not hit send? No, I did hit send.
But it's not. Are you live? You're not live streaming out through.
The other. No, interesting. Yeah. Okay. It's been locked. Okay. Cool. There it is. No, I'm only live streaming on
YouTube.
On YouTube. Somebody. Oh, David Fuller is watching. Remember David Fuller from Chicago? I'm not sure if he's still in Chicago. He.
Yeah.
I think he's live tweeting the the craters that we've got going on. So what I've also been liking to do is actually tell people about what the hell we're looking at here. So
how do you do that?
Well, I use a little thing called Google, and I check Wikipedia. But then I've also got a moon map that I look at on my iPad. So I don't really know that much about the moon. It's kind of weird. I just like to take pictures of it, and I don't know. Usually, I try and pull someone in like Dave Dickinson, who let's see. I need to try and get him in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him the link.
Dave's super knowledgeable about this.
Yeah, he can give this. Everything I've been doing lately has been so like last minute that I always forget to do stuff, and I forgot to send Dave the link.
That's fine. That's the way. If you don't do things last minute, you'll never do anything.
I think that's what it is. That's okay. So I just sent it to him. Let's see if he pops in. Yeah, actually tried to get Phil Plate to come in, but he was busy today. He's been working on other stuff. It was funny. I talked to Phil, and he said he actually forgot it was Yuri's weekend. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Yeah. They reached out to me. I mean, it's if anyone has to completely reformulate how they do things.
Yeah.
And Dylan had to cancel Star Stuff this year, which sucks.
Oh no, that's horrible, man. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
Like so much stuff has been for good reason, but it's just sucks, you know.
So I was going to be speaking at the Royal Astronomical Society meeting in Canada in 2 months. And that got canceled, so I'm not doing that now.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
And it's just so much stuff is just canceled. It sucks. It sucks. But
hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain about it as long as we have people left at the end of all this.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So
Our worries are the least of this.
kind of, yeah. Okay, so what we're looking at right now in the middle of the screen, this is Tycho, and what Dave Dickinson said at one point to me, he'd said that a lot of people like to call it Tico is possibly the more correct pronunciation, which I don't like, so I disagree with that. I'm gonna go with Tycho, but
Named after Tycho Brahe,
maybe
the famous
is it?
astronomer. Yeah.
Yeah, I would make yeah, but I like the other one better. But anyway, if it's named correctly, also I suppose I should say it the right way. Um, so
Well, I think
Tycho,
you call the crater Tycho, and then you call the astronomer Tycho Brahe.
I
Unless you call him by
suppose
his first name, and then you just call him Tycho.
I suppose.
That's
Okay, it is named after the Danish astronomer. So if you
yeah.
pronounce his name Tycho Brahe, then I suppose it's. But then I don't know.
We can.
So yeah, we could
You
talk
need a
about this for
Dane to
hours.
tell us.
We do. We need
Yeah.
somebody who's got
It's like saying
knowledge.
Kuiper Belt. Like we call it the Kuiper Belt, and you talk to to someone from the Netherlands, and like, no, it's not Kuiper Belt, it's Kuiper Belt. You're like, wait, what?
I
That
just,
sounded the same to
it is
me.
the
Like,
same.
no, you can't hear the difference. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
sorry,
So this thing
yeah, I
is
can't.
86 kilometers wide. So right in the middle there, that prominent crater, Taco, is 86 kilometers wide and 4.8 kilometers deep. So that thing's like, so that's almost 5Ks deep. So if you're gonna run a 5K, it's gonna take you that long just to run down the wall of that thing. So I mean, it's big, so that people always say, "Oh, can you show us the moon landing?" It's like, well, yeah, I can show you where it was, and
Yeah.
we can look at that just now. I think that's still visible, um, with the current phase, But the thing is, like, think about this, that thing we're looking at right there, and I'll even zoom in on it just because for fun, because I can. Um, it
Oh,
is,
you can. We're not already
yeah,
zoomed in as much as you can.
yeah. So that thing is 86 kilometers wide. So do you think we'll be able to see a flag? you know?
Yeah,
So
even the Hubble Space Telescope couldn't see a flag.
yeah, yeah. So you should see it pop in there just
Yeah, that's cool.
so we can. Yeah, obviously we're gonna lose a lot of sharpness, but
Yeah.
we can still see that. Let's see if I can adjust the focus a little bit.
But
Remember,
when you shoot that video and you do that big stack, then that comes in really crisp.
yeah, usually because what it does is it takes only the good, sharp frames. Yeah. And this is when you can see that waver, you get a little zoomed in a little tighter and you can really see this waver. I'm trying to focus a little bit, but this is about as good as we're getting right now. So yeah, I'll zoom back out. So that's Tycho. I better just call
That's
it
awesome.
Tico from now on, so I don't feel so bad.
It doesn't matter. There's no way to retrain your brain. You're stuck.
I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
Yeah. Although
Okay,
it's funny, I do like the zoomed out view better because
I do
it's just
too.
clear.
I do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely like it. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my little atlas and see. Um, and I'm using the Sky Safari app on my iPad, so I can sit here and I can like look at this stuff. But I don't see Dave. He must not have seen the message. That's okay. Why is this making noise? Okay, I don't want that. Okay. Yes. So, how's Universe Today been going lately?
Good.
What's been
Good.
going on? Are you been making a lot of new videos or Patreon
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Well, I mean, in the last couple of weeks, we've held off a bit on some of the more scripted videos, but we've been just doing a ton of interviews
Oh,
on my
okay.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I had an interview with Matt O'Dowd from PBS Spacetime. I interviewed actually. I interviewed Phil Metzger, who is a
Oh yeah.
scientist, a planetary scientist focused on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
about 3 weeks ago. And then I'm going to be interviewing Ryan Watkins, Dr. Ryan Watkins, who is another planetary scientist. She works with the Planetary Institute, and she's one of the renowned researchers on the lunar resources and just the structure of the moon. She's a she works with the she's on Blue Origin's advisory council for the Blue Moon lander. So she's going to be helping them as they figure out ways to harvest resources from the moon. And I interviewed Scott Manley, who has a YouTube channel, and just a ton of other people. So I've been having a really good time. Just everybody is trapped at home and everybody's learning how to use Zoom.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Yeah.
able to interview all these people to be able to get them to come on my shows. So I've
Yeah.
been taking advantage of this.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. So the crater we're looking at now is, this one's always like, I don't know, one of those things that catches my eye, just because it's a crater with so many other craters, and it's big.
But it almost looks like it's like Russian dolls. Like you got the big crater, and then you've got like a big crater in the upper right, and then a smaller crater to the left, and then smaller, and then smaller and smaller,
Yeah.
like
It's
skipping
like a
stones or
fractal.
something.
It's like a fractal
Yeah.
almost. You know, it's this beautiful crater. So
Yeah.
that crater is called Clavius. Let's see if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't even know. I don't even care. But
Yeah, you
it's
shouldn't care.
it's named after a Jesuit priest, of all things, who was a 16th century German mathematician and astronomer. But yeah, it's got all these beautiful, like, oh wait, you can see my mouse pointer. So it's got all these. This is Clavius here. It's got all these beautiful, amazing craters within craters. You know. Inside this thing. And the cool thing about that is, you know, we saw Tycho just a little bit ago, and the difference here is Tycho was 86 kilometers wide. This one's 231. So
That's a big crater. Yeah.
So it's huge.
But I mean, you can see how active the moon has been over the time. So that big crater might be, say, several billion years old, while those smaller craters that are inside of it could be just a few tens of millions of years old. And you can even see craters within craters.
Yeah.
And that's how astronomers figure out the age of various surfaces on the moon. So you've got those big areas where the lava flows happened over long periods of time, creating the big plains, and that's more fresh material that was strewn out across the surface of the moon. And then at a certain point, the moon had cooled down to the point that its volcanism had ceased.
Yeah.
But at different ages, you know, the final volcanic eruptions that happened on the surface of the moon, and then it was constantly pounded by all of these different meteorites and asteroids that created all of the cratering and pockmark that we see. And you can see that every part of the moon has been hammered by craters, and then all of the parts inside of the parts have been hammered by craters.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Chinese Space Agency, they landed their mission on the southern pole of the moon, the Chang'e 4 mission, with the rabbit. I forget the name of it. The U2, the little rover that rolled off of the lander. But the lander has a ground penetrating radar built inside of it. And so while it was sitting on the surface of the moon, it was able to probe down into the moon. And it found that it's sitting on dozens of meters, perhaps even hundreds of meters of pulverized moon rock.
Oh wow.
That is just the fragments and chunks of all of these meteorites that have crunched into it. And at the lower parts, you've got bigger chunks, and then as you get closer and closer to the surface, this stuff is ground up more finely until the very top surface. It's this powder that is like talcum powder. And of course, this stuff's incredibly dangerous. You know, you get this stuff, you bring this stuff back in. Like, say you go out and you go for a little walk on the moon, and then you bring this stuff back into your lunar habitat, and then the stuff gets up into the air, and then you breathe it in constantly, and the stuff is like little fish hooks. It's like asbestos, and it goes into your lungs and hooks in, and we have no natural process to get this stuff back out of our lungs. So one of the big risks of future lunar bases, astronauts on the surface of the moon, is going to be breathing in this moon dust. That if they're not incredibly careful in dealing with this moon dust, they're going to start having respiratory issues. Some of them are going to get cancer, bronchitis, and eventually it will kill people.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So if you're super excited to go live on the moon,
Don't be.
Just make sure that you don't get anywhere near dust, which is everywhere.
Yeah. So like, don't go live on the moon. You're saying maybe visit, but don't yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
well, so it gets worse. So as these spacecraft
But
are
wait,
landing,
there's more.
but wait, there's worse. So as spacecraft are landing on the moon,
Yeah.
the escape velocity from the moon is so low that the spacecraft, as their rockets are getting close to the surface of the moon, they are throwing particles from the surface of the moon out into space at escape velocity. So they're going to go. These particles are going to go into orbit around the Earth, right? They're no longer in orbit around the moon, but some will be in orbit. Will be on these parabolic trajectories around the moon. These particles, and so what will happen is, like a big rocket, like say the SpaceX Starship, when it lands on the surface of the moon, its exhaust is going to be throwing particles up into space that will then fly for several weeks before they finally settle back down again onto the surface of the moon on different portions of the moon. And so during that period, any spacecraft that's in orbit is going to be getting sandblasted by this particulate to various levels. And so
Jeez.
you come in with your Starship, you detach one chunk that stays in orbit and goes around the moon. The other part goes and lands on the surface of the moon. Well, actually, that part that's landing on the moon is kicking up debris that is now grinding down your spacecraft that's in orbit around the moon. So,
Oh my. Okay.
So in fact, there may be a hard limit on how often you can actually land a spacecraft on the moon.
Yeah, like
until are causing damage to anything else that's in the nearby vicinity.
That's insane.
And then all this stuff comes raining back down. So you're shooting this stuff up at almost escape velocities. You're firing stuff up at 2 kilometers a second, and there's no atmosphere. So this stuff is all going to be coming back down. Ping, 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 right? So you got your lunar base.
Yeah.
The rocket lands beside the lunar base, and then a week later, it's raining rock from that rocket. And the more of these rockets that are landing on the surface of the moon, the more this debris is getting thrown up. And you're like walking around on the surface of the moon, and then 3 days later, debris comes raining back down on you from the rocket that you landed on with.
Oh, jeez.
So there's like trying to go on the moon is
it's just a bad idea.
This is a level of madness that we still don't fully appreciate, which is kind of amazing. And I love, I just love this idea that when it comes to space, everything's harder than we ever thought.
Well, I mean, yeah, like that's why it's amazing though, because what has it caused us to do? It's caused us to solve problems we never knew we would ever have. And that's why I don't know. Yeah. That's why like whenever someone says everything. Like someone says like, oh hey, why do we need to go to the moon? Why do we need to even try and go to Mars? Why do we care about space? Well, it's like, well, if you like the camera in your cell phone or the little LED light on the end of your electric drill, then well, you can thank the space program. So.
Yeah. I mean, so some of the details, right? So like how does a plug connect, right?
Yeah.
So here on Earth, a plug connects. You just you have 2 parts of a plug and you plug them together. But on the moon, this dust is electrostatically will connect electrostatically to every surface, and so you're going to get this dust going into every single piece of electric equipment that you have, every motor, every air pump, every ventilator, everything, right? And so even plugs, you're going to have this dust is going to collect on the inside of the plug, and then as you plug something together and lock it together, you're going to have this dust is getting inside, and it's going to be just grinding together inside your plugs. And so you've literally got to redesign how plugs work. Otherwise, they won't work after a couple of, after a few dozen.
I guess that's where wireless plugs and all of that kind of stuff would have to come into play or something. It'd be an interesting problem to solve. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got like you've got a data cable that you want to plug from your antenna to your base, and so you have to go over and you've got some big power cable, right? You've got your big solar array, and you want to plug the power cable from the solar array. You run a wire along the surface of the moon, and you plug it into the
Yeah.
outlet on your station to give yourself power. Well, you do it once, it works fine. Second time, bits of metal are starting to grind out as you're attempting to plug
Yeah.
this thing in, and
Well,
you do
I've
it the
got a
third
theme.
time, and it
I,
doesn't work anymore.
yeah, I'm hearing a theme. So basically, everything you said about the moon is we can do it once, but then like after that one time, we're gonna screw up so much stuff that like it might not work a second time.
Yeah, everything is way harder than you think it's going to be. And so it's like every single detail about trying to live on the moon
Yeah.
is 1,000 times more complicated. And the thing is, like, here on Earth, we just take it totally for granted. All of the stuff that we have, like you walk outside and you breathe air.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
just like
you know what I mean?
I like that. You breathe air. Just simple. Simple things.
Yeah, it's just simple, right?
Yeah.
Like you walk outside and you don't die of asphyxiation.
Yeah, that's always nice.
And yet you go anywhere else and that is not going to be the case.
somebody on YouTube just made a great comment. They said, "Isn't it ironic that vacuum cleaners don't work in the vacuum of space?"
Yeah. So this is an example. So NASA was trying to figure out how you clean dust off of everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, vacuum cleaner doesn't work because you've already reached maximum vacuum. So
where's it
right?
So the vacuum cleaners don't suck at all. That's fantastic.
No. Yeah, so you got to use like a broom.
A moon broom. Okay, so check this out. This is like a yin and yang crater. I'm gonna put the mouse pointer on it. You'll see it now. But it's that really cool one right near the center. It's got the center stuff in it.
And you can see the central peak. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the cool thing is with that particular crater, it's got a cool name. It's the crater Vlach. Okay. It's VLACQ.
That's awesome.
It's a rad name. It's about 90 kilometers wide and 3 kilometers deep. But I love these ones like this that have got that central, that bulge of stuff.
So that central peak, right?
Yeah.
So you've got this gigantic asteroid that's smashing into the surface of the moon, and it's coming in with such speed, such velocity that it is liquefying the surface of the moon. And so the physics involved are the same physics if you see like water dropping, if you see droplets of water hitting dropping in super slow motion, and you see the water hit more water, and then it splashes back up, and you get this sort of backsplash peak that comes up, except it's made of rock and it solidifies in this shape in the middle of this crater. And so all these central peaks are in the middle of all these craters is the backsplash of molten rock that then solidified and hardened. Yeah, that solidified and hardened after the impact. And again, it just shows you.
What does it say? Okay, so the midpoint of that floor, of this particular, it says the interior floor of Vlach has been resurfaced by lava. So basically what you just said, leaving a nearly level base, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Another interesting factoid about this thing, fun fact here, is that particular rounded thing in the middle, they call it on Wikipedia here. I'm just reading from Wikipedia, okay? So if it's wrong, it's that, not me. It's 15 kilometers in length. So that little thing, that little mountain is 15 kilometers long. So it's not like a perfect little thing in the middle. It's actually got, if you look it up on Wikipedia, you can see this. It's like a little mountain range thingy in the middle. It's a mountain. It basically made a mountain range.
Yes.
So, like, it's just insane. Ugh.
And it's the same thing. So when you look at Curiosity rover, which is currently on Mars, it's in a giant crater, and in the middle of this crater is a mountain. But the mountain is the same thing. The mountain was formed by the impact that caused the crater, and the mountain is really high, like 5 kilometers tall. And Curiosity is slowly making its way up the flank of this mountain that was formed in an instant from something large smashing into the surface of Mars and splashing this mountain.
Ugh.
And then the mountain solidified and hardened, and you're left with with the mountain,
with the
and the
mountain.
moon is covered in these things.
Yeah, and here's another interesting one. The one right next to it. It's we saw it just on the edge, but now it's dead center, and it'll be dead center for you on YouTube just now.
Yep.
This is the crater Jensen, and then it's got a couple little sub craters, Fabricus, and like all these names. Like there's so many craters on the
Yeah.
moon. I would guess that there's been a few that haven't been named, so we could probably I don't know, figure out some cool names for craters. I wanna look up Jensen because
You'd be
this
surprised
thing,
how many of them have been named.
it is, well, all the ones I click on so far have been named, so I'm kind of
Yeah.
wondering maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Anything that's more than a couple of kilometers across has got a name.
I suppose, yeah. Well, and then okay, so this thing is crazy. I mean, it's so complex. It's like it's not just a crater with nice little craters in it. It's craters in like a million of these. So what is
Yeah.
this thing? Okay, so it's not even a crater. It's just like a system of junk. It's 200 kilometers. The whole system is 200 kilometers wide, and almost 3 kilometers deep. So it's quite deep. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
change that into miles
But
and
each
and
one,
feet
right?
and
There
stuff.
was one big crater, and
Yeah,
then there was another one, and they could have been 10 million years apart or 20 million years apart, and then there was another one, and then there was another one. And
yeah.
so you could roll that impact collection back in time and see every single
It'd be
impact that
amazing.
happened.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
And I wonder if so this is, starting to get on that other side of the moon that we never see. And what had mentioned to me at one point, Dave Dickinson, he'd said that, and I forget about this because we never think about it, is the backside of the moon has got way more impacts than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
side we
this is
see.
the smooth side. So
Yeah.
the side that we look at of the moon is the smooth side.
Yeah.
And if you look at pictures of the far side of the moon, it is just even more crater strewn. It doesn't have these same kinds of seas and the mare that we see on the near side of the moon. And astronomers are still don't know why the close side of the moon is smoother than the far side of the moon. And one of the ideas is that back in the day, the Earth actually had two moons orbiting around it,
Oh, I
and
want to see
and
that.
then at
That's what I
one
want.
point it absorbed the moon absorbed the second moon,
So it ate it.
and so it layered on and created this new era of volcanic eruptions on the near side of the moon that we see that made it a lot fresher, while the far side of the moon is virtually unchanged since the formation of the moon itself.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's quite interesting. I had a little thing. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I like
it's
to
a good little
change
crater.
around the what I'm looking at here. I need to
And same, I
underexpose
mean, that crater
this.
that you've got there on the screen right now is absolutely perfect to just really see the
Yeah.
smoothness of the crater floor. And you're exactly right. So when that impact happens, you get um, this. It turns into a lake of lava with that center pileup of material, and then that lake of lava cools, and you get this perfectly smooth crater floor that you could just roam around on and have almost no debris, no terrain, just
Yeah.
smooth powder, smooth death powder.
Death powder, powder of death. Yeah. So I just
Yeah.
zoomed in on this crater if I can get it recentered here, and this one is just cool. It's got a cool name. But it's another one of those, it's got it in the middle where it did the death powder thing and did that what you were just talking about. It's 88 kilometers wide. It's 4.5 kilometers deep. But
Wow.
it's got this cool. It's almost a double mountain right in the middle. This crater's name is Piccolo Mini, which is funny because piccolo is like a mini flute, and anyway,
Yeah.
I'm dad joking this. I don't even care.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, yeah, that's my dog. I don't know what she's barking at. Vega! Hey, Vega, come.
The bats.
Yeah, must be. Other dogs barking. I don't know. It's crazy. It's that crazy, Easter weekend, Yuri's Night thing, maybe. But yeah, oh, this is really good. This is looking really nice, even with this super zoom I've got going on. So I'm taking a picture because I have to. We'll see how this turns out. But yeah, so I named. We've rescued two dogs. One so far. One was a little one named Steph, and she's named after Stephen Hawking because we
Uh-huh.
we adopted her the day he passed away, and so we named her Steph. And then we've got this other dog. Her name is Vega. So of course they've got to be space names. Um, we actually let
Yeah,
Twitter
that's awesome.
help pick the name because it's just like, we've got this. We've got to figure this out. But this thing is so. This is crazy. So this Piccolo Mini. We were talking about age. Um, I'm not going to say the stuff that I don't understand, but what I do understand is it formed 3.8 to 3.2 billion years ago. So that's how old this crater is.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's like, the Earth was
Yeah.
formed
Yeah.
and then the moon kind of, happened and then bam,
Well, yeah. So I mean, the moon only formed a few 100 million years after the Earth formed, when a Mars-sized object crashed into the moon and splatted out the debris formed into the moon.
That's the scientific thing, right?
And that's splatted, yeah.
Splatted,
and
yeah.
And so the thing is, like, during that period is known as the late heavy bombardment period.
The late heavy bombardment.
So there were, during the time, the whole solar system was, the late heavy bombardment, and so the whole solar system was filled with debris that was smashing and smashing and smashing. And so a lot of those, you say that crater was formed 3.5 billion years ago. Almost all those craters were formed. Like that's one of the craters that's in a pretty good condition, but most of those impacts that you're seeing there were all formed within a few 100 million years of each other, because there was just this time when the whole solar system was a shooting gallery.
It's just crazy. And yeah, like,
yeah.
But I guess the moon was partly our shield too, and that's why it's so messed up. But I guess the Earth got hit a lot too, right?
Yeah. No, we just don't see the Earth was hit as far worse than the moon was. We just don't see the impacts because the Earth has all of this weathering on it that was able to hide all of the impact. So it has the plate tectonics, it has the wind and the water action and snow, and all of these go to obscure. And so there are a few hundred known craters here on Earth, but very few of them are very obvious. There's astronomers are still discovering them. They recently found some craters inland, right? So now we're at the point where we're finding craters using ground penetrating radar to see below the ice in places like Greenland and Antarctica.
Okay. Oh, here's an interesting one, and I always forget about this one. It's looking beautiful right now. This one that's going to be right in the center. Theophilus. Awesome crater. Oh, my internet is giving me problems again. Uh-oh.
So the one that's in the middle right now?
Yeah, it's got those three pieces, those three center areas. Theophilus.
Oh, yeah. So for me, I see it down on the bottom left.
It should. You're definitely it'll get moved. It'll move in there. Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
This is ugly. We'll see. We might have to cut this short.
We're in a pandemic. Can't you at least get some good internet?
It's been great until today.
You're in South Africa. I'm in Canada.
How much more can we ask for?
Live streaming a telescope to the entire planet, and it's a little glitchy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. All I want is perfection here. Okay, come on. There we go.
Unacceptable.
So anyway, this is Theophilus. It's so cool. It's such a beautiful crater because it's got the little flower petal, death powder, surrounded mountain range and
bubble pile.
Again, it's funny because all these ones that we look at,
that's so cool.
They tend to be right around the same size. The ones that we always gravitate toward. This one is about 100 kilometers wide as well. So they're anywhere from 80 to 100 kilometers wide. And so this is the crater we're talking about right here with the mouse pointer that you'll see just now. But yeah, for some reason, like it must be like that Goldilocks zone of crater size for the ones that we're drawn to, because this crater
Yeah.
Theophilus, um, Piccolo Mini, it's just
Let me guess, about 80 kilometers.
yeah, I mean, this one's 100, and like Clavius is huge, and that's why we like that one. It's got all this stuff inside it, but like Copernicus, that's about 100 kilometers. Like all of these I think Plato's just a little over.
Yeah.
Plato's like 130. So like there's this area of size. This is looking too good. I have to do some imaging here. This is looking really good right now. Just a quick one. It doesn't take too long. Just like at the doctor, but don't go now. But if you were.
You're definitely glitching out on me now.
Yeah. It's popping in and out. It's like.
And it looks like the YouTube stream is glitching too.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Not much I can do. They've been that we've actually had trouble recently with CCOM cables from Africa to everywhere else getting cut, or from us down here in South Africa getting cut and problems. So
right.
Yeah, it's not doing that great. Oh, this is horrible, man. It's been working so good for all these times. But
oh well, we'll try it tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, tomorrow. I don't know if the weather's going to be any good. That's why I really wanted to get it tonight.
Yeah, you have perfect weather. This is some of the nicest seeing.
This is beautiful
that I
seeing.
think you've been able to show.
I might just have to hide away and do imaging only, and then share the final photos only or something. So,
yeah.
I want to see. Now it's back.
I'd love to see. I mean, you've taken these big images on singular features.
Yeah. Oh, the zoom is amazing. Just now, you're going to see this, and it's so cool when it pops in. Look at that. Look at that.
Can't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, come YouTube. Let's go. Come on. I'm going to blame YouTube, not the fact that I'm really far away.
Yeah, I think you're.
Oh no! Come on. This is really glitchy. Oh my goodness. Might have to end it. It's almost.
Oh, there we
go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's just so pretty. How cool is that guy? Oh.
Yeah.
Definitely having some struggle. I'm struggling right now with the internet. Ugh.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do this again, man.
Yeah, we will definitely. Yeah, I'll just make sure we've got. Maybe I forgot to pay my internet bill.
Try turning your. I find like sometimes my router just forgets how to be a router.
Yeah.
And I just turn it off and turn it back on again. That's
yeah. I had to do that. I haven't done that in a while though. Maybe I need to.
Yeah, people say they're getting about 0.2 frames per second.
Oh
so.
my goodness.
All right, I'll sign off.
Okay.
You shut this down safely, but it was super fun to hang out with you, man. And
cool, man.
Anytime.
All right. Thanks, Fraser. Right. Bye.
Go to bed.
Yeah, I suppose. Bye. Okay, so Fraser told me to go to bed. I'm totally not going to do that. That's no fun. I'm just going to see if this can actually work a little bit better. Popping in and out. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm just going to move around. I'm going to try and follow this. Yeah, my internet connection is just not doing great right now. I'm going to move around a little bit. Look at some. Okay, so this is interesting. This is another area this is the, and I'll leave these on the screen for a while, so that they're nice and visible. But right there in the middle, where the mouse pointer is, that I'm gonna try and keep on there, that is the Apollo 11 landing site. So that is where Apollo 11 landed. I'm actually going to do another image run of this because it just looks too nice. I am not gonna miss that. So that's the Apollo 11 landing site where the mouse pointer is right now. Hey, yeah, Oscar. Amazing zoom in. Yeah, thanks, man. It worked out pretty good. I'm glad it's working. The internet's just all over, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one. As soon as this finishes, because it's too unstable. Sorry about that, everybody. But I'll be back as soon as I can get my internet sorted out. So, cheers. Have a drink. Have a sleep, whatever time it is, wherever you're at. And I'll talk to you again soon. And before I sign off, I'm just going to actually just let the moon kind of drift through the frame a little bit before I cut this feed completely. It's just too nice not to share. So we'll just start down here by Plato and kind of let it go. See what. So thanks for joining, guys and gals, everyone. Thank you very much. Sorry about the internet problem.